In this video, we're going to fight meme fires with meme fires over the issue of the God of the Gaps objection. And it's going to be my theistic cat, Grovie, against an atheist cat. They didn't give the name in the meme. And we're going to see which one is correct. Hi, my name's Todd, and welcome to Mission Millennial Z Alpha Generations, where we share the other side of the creation story with today's youth. Now, today's video is going to be somewhat lighthearted, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, though I'm dead serious in responding to this meme. Now, I take no offense at this meme. I do take offense at a lot of other memes, but this one's kind of lighthearted, and I take it such. You know, no ill will intended, no ill will taken. So here's the meme. It's kind of amusing or cute, if you want to say. Your ability to understand basic science does not mean God did it. So what this is trying to impart is the God of the Gaps objections. Atheists use the God of the Gap objection probably more than any other objections, except maybe the genetic fallacy. We don't have to prove anything. Only atheists need to prove things. Only theists need to prove things, rather. Us atheists don't need to, because we're just simply theists without knowledge of God. We don't need to prove any. It's a sort of different renditions of that you hear all the time. God of the Gaps is another common one. And the complaint is, if they can't explain, if atheists can't explain something naturalistically, they say, well, science is working on it. So what does that imply? That it's begging the question that science will find the naturalistic mechanism to explain something, like the origin of life. For the last 200 years, origin of life researchers have hit a dead end when it comes to explaining how that first cell, self-replicating cell, supposedly 3.8 billion years ago, came into being. They can't explain it naturalistically. But atheists will say, oh, don't worry, science is working on it. Well, it's been 200 years. How do you know that science will find a naturalistic answer? And that's where Grovie comes in. Your inability to understand basic science, does not mean naturalism did it, right? It goes both ways, does it not? Now, I'm going to finish this brief video, and it's really not much to say. You're basically answering their objection by putting naturalism in the parentheses. Does not mean God did it? Well, fine. It doesn't mean naturalism did it either. So I'm against God of the Gaps argumentation, right? And I'm equally against naturalism of the gaps. Now, you can't hide behind the word naturalism. If you're an atheist, you're a naturalist. And you know what you believe? You believe everything can be explained by materialistic processes. So you have the onus to prove that also, right? So I'm going to end this video. Again, this doesn't take much to refute the God of the Gaps objection with Stephen Meyer's quotation regarding this particular objection. So let's take a quick look at what Stephen Meyer, author of Return of the God Hypothesis, 3 scientific discoveries revealing the mind behind the universe. Like I said, if you haven't read this book yet, get it. If you're only going to get one book on theism, this would be the one. All right, let's read it. To depict proponents of the theory of intelligent design, which I am one, by the way, of course, as committing the God of the Gaps fallacy, critics must misrepresent the case for it. And that is so true. For example, as Michael Shermer, now he's a real ardent atheist, claims, quote, quoting Shermer, intelligent design argues that life is too specifically complex structures like DNA, to have evolved by natural forces. Therefore, life must have been created by an intelligent designer. End of quote. And this is what Stephen says in response to that. And this is brief, by the way. He devotes 2 or 3 pages of stuff to this, and you should read it. This is on I'm quoting from page 415 of his book. And here's Steve's response. In fact, the case for the intelligent design of life presented in chapters 9 and 10 and in my previous books doesn't rely on such logic. Instead, premise 1, despite a thorough search, no materialistic causes, that's naturalism, have been discovered with the power to produce large amounts of specified information necessary to produce the first cell. Premise 2, intelligent causes have demonstrated the power to produce large amounts of specified information. And 3, conclusion, intelligent design constitutes the best, most causally adequate explanation for the origin of the specified information in the cell. So I leave it right there. The simple one, Grovie answered. Put naturalism in place of God, and it's a wash, right? Steve Myers, you get a little more technical, and that's also a very good way of explaining it. These are premise-based arguments that we make, us who believe in the intelligent design, the intelligent designer of the universe, God, a supernatural being, not Santa Claus, not Zeus, a supernatural being, an unembodied mind who brought everything out of nothing, creation ex nihilo. We believe that person is the designer, right? So we're leaving it to you to look into which side has the best explanation for the observed facts of science. So I hope you like this video. And if you do like it, hit the like button. And please subscribe if you haven't. It really helps our outreach, because we are called Mission Millennials, the Alpha Generations. We hand out tracts at college campuses and high school campuses and so forth. We're just trying to give them the other side of the creation story. We want atheists and theists to have the best arguments both sides present so they can decide for themselves. What is wrong with that? Right? They won't allow intelligent design in the classroom because they only want one side as a rule. There are exceptions. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. And maybe I'll get my cat on here. Grovie's really a nice cat. And and we're both kind of biased. Grovie's a theistic cat. And I'm a theistic cat also from the 60s. Grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I'm a cat. And we like conversing with other cats. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. So this is Grovie, and she just reminded me of something. She said to put the 2,500 word first debate speech in my theistic debate challenge video in the comment section. So if you're going to ask me in the comments, where's your proof? Please watch that debate and critique it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.